What's up, YouTube? So, what is the mind of an alcoholic? What are the characteristics of it? I can do the best to explain this to you by explaining myself and what I went through, and maybe some of y'all can relate with that. I don't know the perfect example, and I'm not a scientist, so I can't give you everything down to the detail of what's actually happening, but I'll give it a shot. Once you become addicted, you, in a way, become enslaved. Many of us don't want to admit that, and many of us don't want to admit that we're alcoholics. But admitting that you're an alcoholic is kind of admitting that you are a little bit of a slave to that addiction. Let's just kind of be honest and real with ourselves. So, like any addiction, even with tobacco or drugs, you kind of do whatever you got to do to get what you're wanting to get. With me, alcohol came first, unfortunately. I love my family, I love my wife, I love my kids, but for some reason I would always push aside things that I had to do with them, or even push things aside like my college work or work and things like that. I'd push those things aside for drinking. It's unfortunate, whenever you're an alcoholic, you miss out on a lot of things because of that. So I would push things aside. For some reason, alcohol stayed up there in that top spot. And that was a problem for me. And that was one of the reasons that led me to quit, because I was tired of being a slave to that, because that's bad. That was really horrible. Sorry, I'm holding the camera this time. I'm trying to get better lighting than what I've been doing. You're dependent on this. Physically, you're addicted. Mentally, you're addicted. So, after that, you kind of start acting different. When you don't have it, you're upset. You're agitated. Kind of like what it's like when you quit drinking. That's what it's like, except maybe even more severe when you're not getting, your fix on either your cigarettes, your drugs, your alcohol. That's kind of what it is, and all you care about is getting that. You're like a switch. You're depressed when when you don't have it, and you're happier when you do have it. Some people are angry drunks, but what I'm meaning is you're satisfied when you have it. And what you're trying to do, and another aspect of this is like you're trying to fill a gap or void in your life. And for whatever reason that you have that, or whatever caused it, people start drinking for a lot of different reasons. But as far as like a gap or void, we're trying to fill that with our drug of choice. And I did that with alcohol. I think I covered up my failures. I covered up my imperfections. I was a perfectionist back in the day, and whenever I found out I couldn't be perfect at almost everything, I kind of resorted to drinking. And I liked how it made me feel. It didn't make me feel like a failure when I did it. I felt good. I felt more confident. I felt like I had more ideas and was a lot more thoughtful. So basically, we get kind of wired and intertwined with alcohol, and it becomes essentially just take over our complete lives. It's taken over our mind, our spirit, our soul, and it takes everything. And we don't really have good rational thoughts. Also, I'd like to say something that I've noticed. I do everything in excess, whether it was tobacco or alcohol or eating or sleeping or whenever I do yard work or when I clean the house. When I do things like, I don't know why I'm like that, but I have to do everything like hardcore. And if I only have a way of doing it half-ass, excuse my language, I don't want to do it. I want to do something else that I can go full force on. When I'm doing my college work, I'll do it all freaking day, and I want to get all A's on everything that I do. Whenever I was drinking, I wanted to drink until it was never enough. I had to keep going. And when you're an alcoholic and, your mind is wired the way it is to alcohol, it's never enough. You're always going to continue to increase it. It's terminal. It's chronic. And that's very unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. But with me, I do a lot of things in excess, and a lot of alcoholics are the same way. They go hard and go hard in the paint on everything that they do. So a lot of times you'll see people get off of an addiction, and then they become addicted to something else. So my thing is I like to try to be addicted to doing something that might be more successful. I'm about to start getting into exercise and dieting more. and I'll have a lot of videos about that. But I'm trying to get into this YouTube thing because whenever lately I've had a lot of boredom, and I want to get back into doing something more productive. And I love talking to you guys, and I love responding to your comments and answering questions and learning. I learn a lot from y'all, and that's why I like doing this. Every day I can get on here and have a little chat with somebody. I meet somebody new every day, and that's great for me. So thank y'all for that. Like this video. Leave me a comment down below if there's anything y'all think I left out, or what your description of an alcoholic mind is. And subscribe to my channel, guys. Thanks.